Hey guys, how's it going? Untitled back here again today with another video. Today we're going to talk about the second generation of the games. I talked about the first generation in a video not too long ago, so if you're interested in that, the video is on the channel. And I'll put out sequels in in order of generation, so 3, 4, 5, etc. will come out after this. If you're new here, I normally do mostly competitive stuff, but I wanted to do this too. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like my content. Helps you stay updated with my latest content and helps my channel grow, so it's awesome for both of us. Likes and comments help the YouTube algorithm let people find the channel too. Now, let's get into the video. Yes, Generation 2. The generation I got my first main series game in. I had Pokemon Stadium, but didn't have a Gen 1 main series game until after I got Gold. I got Yellow version after. I love Generation 2. Is it my favorite generation? I really don't know, honestly. It's up there for sure. I can't wait to talk about it, so let's hop right into it. The Pokemon. Gen 2 is the first time legendary Pokemon actually seemed legendary. The birds from Gen 1 didn't really have an impact on the story, and you could easily play through the whole game without taking notice of them. Gen 2 encourages you to enter Burn Tower to encounter the 3 beasts. The 2 main legendaries are on the box art too, so you're obviously going to want to encounter them and capture them. The legends all have awesome designs too, nothing overcomplicated like Black Kyurem, nothing too simple like the Reggie trio. The regular Pokemon though, not as scary looking like Nidoking, still were awesome. We got Skarmory, Donphan, Feraligatr, Typhlosion, and I could go on and on. Gen 2 introduced us with Unknown. Unknown was a weak Pokemon that had 26 different forms, each based off of a letter from the alphabet. You caught them in a place called the Ruins of Elf. And the place seemed so cool to walk into it for the first time. Then again in Heart Gold Soul Silver. But those are Gen 4 games. I can't really complain about any of the Gen 2 Pokemon designs, honestly. The only silly thing is that Remoraid, a fish Pokemon, evolves into Octillery, an octopus Pokemon. But that's just nitpicking. This story. The story is basically almost the same as Gen 1. You get a starter Pokemon, you try to fill up the decks, forget about that, and work your way up to becoming the champion of the Pokemon League. Again, Team Rocket is the main antagonist. They've made a comeback. You stop them from taking over the region with radio signals or something like that. Basic Team Rocket stuff. But they got a cool new theme music now. We'll elaborate more on that later. Your rival is a badass yet again. He's a jackass who steals the starter Pokemon from Professor Elm. You fight him as he's making his getaway. He never gets caught despite you beating him. The police stop caring that he stole the Pokemon. They're probably too busy eating apricorn donuts. He constantly talks down on you every time he encounters you. You beat his ass, you move on. Eventually, he becomes less of a brat and learns to respect his Pokemon. See, there's some character development there. Every generation after this has weak rivals. After you beat the Elite Four and Champion, you cross over into Kanto. So, we got 2 regions in these games. Sure, it's a dumbed down version of Kanto, but it's still Kanto. You clear the Cantonian gym leaders and eventually make your way to Mount Silver. You work your way up there and guess who's there waiting for you? Red from the original games. You probably lose to him a couple times because the level curve in these games is kinda dumb. You grind up some levels, you try again, and you win. Not only is it so cool that you get to battle the legend himself, but it's so satisfying when you pull off the victory. The music. Generation 2's music is absolutely amazing. I talked about how good Gen 1 music was, but it doesn't even come close to Gen 2. It's honestly a toss-up between what's better between the original Gen 2 music or the remastered Gen 4 versions. I remember level grinding hard in National Park on Wild Pokemon as a kid while listening to the calming music. I still go back there to this day just to listen to it. On YouTube, well now. Critique City's music reminds me of a time in Japanese history that we never got to experience. Kind of like finding a city pop playlist on YouTube, but for ancient Japan instead of 1980s Japan. +1 internet cookies if you understand the reference. I'll be quiet for a few seconds so you can hear it. The burn tower also gives this sort of vibe. I'll shut up for a few seconds so you can enjoy it too. All the other cities and towns have good music too. It's just that Ekritique stands out to me the most. Did I mention the pre-battle music that plays before you engage in battle with the Kimono girls? It's things like these in these games that makes me need to visit Japan so bad. Maybe when this whole stupid COVID thing is over, I guess. The caves of Johto are awesome too. Did I mention the gym leader themes? Holy man, they're great! The Kanto gym leaders are even better. Then there's the epic music you hear at the Indigo Plateau on Mount Silver. And the champion theme when you battle Lance in red. They gave Team Rocket some very necessary theme music. And it's definitely up there contending to be my favorite evil gang theme. The Rival has some sick music as well. The music you hear after the credits are finished, you know, where it says the end, that tune is a tearjerker. Hearing it brings back childhood memories, thinking back to simpler times. The feeling of nostalgia I get when I hear it almost makes me tear up sometimes. Makes me wish I could go back, forget about being an adult with all the anxieties and stresses adulthood brings you. I could honestly go on and on about the music Gen 2 offers, but that would make for an hour-long video about it, so I think it's time to move on. Excuse me. The map. This time around, it's a little bit more linear as to where you want to go. In Gen 1, you can pretty much go do what you want after you get cut, which is after the second badge. Gen 2 is the same, but you need to get Surf, which isn't until after the 4th badge. After that, you can either head west to Mahogany, do the Lake of Rage stuff, get your shiny Gyarados, or you can head west towards Olivine. But then you have to venture further to Cyanamwood to get the medicine for the Ampharos at the Lighthouse. I really like the Johto region. It seems kind of small, but I feel like when I'm walking around in Japan in a way. That's what the developers intended to, so it makes sense. The National Park is one of the best locations in the Pokemon franchise. You get bug catching contests there, which replaces the Savari Zone from Gen 1. When you're all done with the Johto region and beat the Elite Four, you can revisit the Kanto region. Your map basically doubles in size, and there's no hand-holding linear nonsense there. You start off in Vermilion City, but you don't have to fight the gym there. Nah, bro. You can head north, meet some side quests, catch the Snorlax that's blocking Diglett's cave, and go on and on. Getting the Pokeflute channel on your Pokegear pretty much opens up the entire region for you. New features. Gold, Silver, and subsequently Crystal added some awesome new features. So let's talk about them. Gen 2 added day and night cycles, making it so you could catch certain species at certain times of day, notably Hoot Hoot at night. It changed the hue of the overworld too. Felt cool walking around Kanto at night while it was actually dark outside. I miss those simple days. Then, for no reason at all, they removed this feature in Gen 3. Also new, your Pokemon could hold items. Needed a little extra firepower for your fire moves? Stick a charcoal on your Pokemon and you're good to go. It also introduced held berries that restore health at cure status. They've improved upon the berry feature over the years and now it's better than ever. But you can thank Gen 2 for introducing it. In Gen 1, the Psychic type was busted, so they introduced the Dark and Steel types that totally balanced the Psychic type out. That and they split the special stat into 2 stats, but we'll elaborate on that more in a bit. Crystal was also the first game that let you play as a girl. I used to exploit a cloning glitch a lot back in the day, and one day my red boy sprite changed into a red girl sprite. What was even weirder is that the girl sprite is supposed to be blue. But then I'd take a step and she changed blue. She never changed back into a boy. It was so weird, and I've never ever seen or heard of anything like this happening to anybody else. I mentioned the Pokegear in a previous section. It was a cool addition as well. The Pokegear contained your town map, the radio. You can change the background music of wherever you want to... You can change the background music of wherever you are to whatever's playing on the radio, which is pretty cool. I always enjoyed the Poke March when I was a kid. This is probably better off the music section of this video, but I'm talking about it here because it's more of a new feature type of thing. Your Pokegear also contained the phone. I honestly really hated the phone in these games. I'll explain. You're just trying to progress through this story. Then Professor Elm called you to talk to you about the mystery egg, or one of those NPC trainers who accidentally registered phoned you to talk about his Caterpie they battled. I really don't care, Joey, stop phoning me. Gen 2 introduced probably the most important feature to ever come out for competitive players. True competitive players, not hackers. It introduced breeding. Breeding didn't get good and fun until Gen 6, but it's still very important. Without breeding, competitive Pokemon would be garbage, unless they made some way of making it perfect, legit Pokemon battle ready. Yet another new feature was a shiny Pokemon. Back in those days, the odds of finding a shiny were less than 1 in 8,000. That's crazy. One day I started a new game with no intent in saving it, and my starter Totodile was a shiny. I didn't save it because I liked the save file I had already, but it's a memory I'll cherish forever. The red Gyarados you encounter at the Lake of Rage? Yeah, that's a shiny one. Shiny Pokemon have been providing YouTubers with content for years now, and it's even letting them make a living off of them. It's crazy. Thanks, Game Freak. Maybe I can make a living off playing Pokemon one day. Subscribe. Do it now. Improvements. I mentioned this earlier, but the special stat being split into offense and defense was absolutely necessary. Like I said before, the Psychic type was broken in Gen 1. This made it so that using Amnesia didn't double your attacking power and special defense power at the same time. No, you only double your special defense, so you can't just use Amnesia and Sweep anymore. Gen 2 introduced a way better item storage organization. Gen 1 was terrible in this regard. Now your pack is split into pockets for Pokeballs, medicine, etc. So much better, and your total inventory storage was increased too. The PC slightly is easier to use too. It wasn't a huge improvement, but it's still a pain in the butt. But it's better than nothing. One of the few improvements to Gen 3 was overhauling the PC storage system, and I'm glad they did, but that's a discussion for later. Overall, I miss when Gen 2 was new. Those were my fondest childhood moments. That's it for the video, guys. I'm going to make a video for every generation, so stay tuned for that. If you're new here, why not hit that subscribe button? I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but it's worth mentioning again. I do mainly competitive stuff on my channel, so if you're into that, smash that subscribe button. Likes and comments help a lot too. Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay safe and have yourselves a great day.